Hello, everybody. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Show, and it is congratulations to West Bromwich Albion, who, in a ludicrously chaotic and bonkers final day of the Championship yesterday, finally secured that second place automatic promotion to the Premier League. And as we did with Leeds, probably a week or so ago now, we're going to work out how they did it. Now, I've generalised about promotions on here before. Are they the compounding of 2, 3, 4 years of good work? Is it one freak season? Is it one good season and some good recruitment, some good management? Is it size of club and financial power just proving too much for the division? We'll see what we think here. In terms of West Brom, though, certainly not the compounding of loads of good decisions over 2 or 3 years, because Latham obviously in his first years. I think probably some good management, some good recruitment, and size of club and income in respect of other clubs were the big factors in this one. And that's obviously not to denigrate from it. In fact, that's probably a feather in the cap of Slaven Bilic. He's done the job he was brought to West Brom to do in just 1 year. To track this story, we do need to go back, but don't worry, I'll move quickly. We do need to go back to May the 18th, 2018. West Brom relegated from the Premier League, but with Darren Moore in caretaker charge, having a good end of the season. And Darren Moore, as you can see there, hired as the full-time manager. Some people said, good to see people being brought through and get a chance, and not just the merry-go-round, especially given some of the managers, Pardew, Pulis, that West Brom had tried, Hodgson before, were definitely the names off of that Premier League guaranteed safety merry-go-round. Others argued on the other side, is this the cheap option? Is he the right guy? Should you throw somebody in the first year of their managerial career into the Championship? The outs there, they managed to raise some money. As you'll notice, every time we do these promotion stories, every team needs to raise money at the start of the season. Chadley, McLean, Evans, Foster, and Rondon. Remember Rondon, because he's actually going to be vital in this season's recruitment. But look there, 10, 15, 18, 20 million quid raised on top of the parachute money there. And Darren Moore spends it on Sam Johnston, Kyle Bartley, Dwight Gale, the Championship goal machine if ever there was one, Connor Townsend, Mears and Bond on free transfers, Tosin Adarabio on loan. But look right at the bottom there, Harvey Barnes, in he comes in on loan. Maybe him and Gale, the best bits of business done. And the first half of the season, it was all about Gale, Rodriguez and Barnes up front. We're reading from the bottom upwards, and you can see a few decent streaks in there, plenty of wins, but the real sense was West Brom maybe not tactically outmaneuvering teams, but more Barnes, Gale and Rodriguez just destroying them in the front three. So one of those situations where a team performing towards the top of the division, but still questions, are you being propped up by some ex-Premier League players and a great front three? Are you going to last the course? In January, added in Mason Holgate, Steph Johansson, Jeff Montero and Jacob Murphy. So a few loans to supplement it going into the second half of the season. There is the year-end table. Leeds, look at them top at the end of 2018 with Norwich 3 points behind and West Brom on 46 there. Remember, look at Sheffield United in fourth. They're going to finish second. And somewhere, not even in that top six, is Aston Villa, who are going to win 10 games on the trot. Now, sadly for Darren Moore, that is his results up to March the 9th, including two big defeats there. Look at the top there against the two promotion rivals, Sheffield United and Leeds, not scoring in either of those games. And right down the bottom, you can see Norwich, they're going to West Brom and getting a point. Norwich at that point then went on an 8-game win streak And sadly for Darren Moore, there's the March the 9th table. You can all see where this is going. Norwich, 11 points clear of West Brom. Leeds, 9 points clear. And I think a bit of a Hail Mary from the ownership there. It is 10 games to go, and they basically need to make up 9 points gap. Sheffield United are in the way. Villa are, well, starting their charge. Remember, it was incredibly late charge. And so Darren Moore gets fired after drawing with Ipswich. And I was at that game in my capacity as an Ipswich fan, and it did look like a muddle. It looked like the lone players weren't quite working. I remember, I think Dawson was playing right back and had Rabiot centre back. Just not really looking like a team who knew particularly what they were doing. What was reported, though, is that West Brom were hoping to bring in a new manager by the Wednesday of that week, and they didn't. So maybe a key part of this story is that they couldn't get their man at the point they wanted. Who was that man? I don't know. Was it actually Slaven Bilic ahead of time? I don't know. But they end up with James Sharn, the assistant manager. People argued, is that any better than Darren Moore? Here is the end of the season. We're reading upwards. A 3-game win streak to start it was good. And in the end, managing to get into those playoffs. But look at the top 2 fixtures there. It was Aston Villa in the playoffs, West Midlands rivals there on a mad streak. West Brom take the lead in the first game through Dwight Gale, but Villa managed to come back. I have to say, West Brom were incredibly defensive in those 2 games, essentially a back 5, not really wing backs. But in the second leg, they did get the goal through Dawson and nearly managed to eke something out, but it was very much seed possession, low block, and try and get to penalties. Well, they did get to penalties with 10 men. I think Chris Brunt was sent off in that one, and they lose on penalties to Villa. Maybe paid them too much respect, but it says a lot that James Sharn, given his tools there, thought defence was the best way to go. And the big thing I haven't mentioned is Harvey Barnes went back to Leicester in January, splitting up that great front 3. The loan stopped, and he was not available to Darren Moore. I wonder if he'd been available, whether it would have been different. 13th of June, 2019, here comes Slaven Bilic. He's managed Croatia successfully. He's managed West Ham in the Premier League. Was that the guy they wanted in March and they couldn't get the deal done? I don't know. Maybe some people higher ups at West Brom will know. But here comes Bilic, I think, on a nicely paid 2-year contract to see through to the end of those parachute payments, and he's got a wheel and deal. And Salomon Rondon, a lot to thank Rafa Benitez for there. He loans Rondon to Newcastle and then takes him over to China. 16 million raised, 5 million for Dawson, 5 for Rodriguez, 2.7 for Neom. So again, got to raise money in the Championship. FFP is there. And when we talk about how West Brom did it, part of the story is going to be really good recruitment, because look here, incoming in the summer, Zahor we can skirt past. Austin, did it really work? Sawyers, he's going to be a mainstay in the team all season. Furlong, Ajayi, 1.5 million there. He's going to be a mainstay in the season. And then some excellent loans. Dean Garner and Pereira were superb deals on loans. We've seen the loans in the Wolves and Fulham models before. Kravinovic there, less so, but still an impactful player. Willock didn't really work at all. But you can see Slaven Bilic had 1 year to build a team and get this done with a year 2 parachute payments, and to bring in Ajayi, Sawyers, Dean Garner and Pereira in that first transfer window was probably a big game changer, and a really, really strong start. And just we're reading from the bottom upwards, just no defeats. Look at that. They lose to Leeds on the 1st of October, who are going to go on to be champions. And then you have to go right to year end for the next defeat against Borough. And what you'll see, draw happy to begin with, but then a win streak from the 4th of November, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-game win streak, meaning at game number 20, West Brom away and clear, 1 defeat in the first 20, and look there, 10 points clear of Fulham and Bristol City in 3rd and 4th. Brentford not even in the picture. So some sense that some really good summer recruitment and then a very strong first half of the season. And is that going to carry them over the line months and months later? I think some sense that it did. In January, clever. Again, you cannot underestimate how well Bilic did the recruitment here. Krissy and Robinson come in, and what he realised was that his 4-2-3-1 system, he was winning games from the 3 off the front positions with Diangana and Pereira. So he strengthened up an already strong area. Remember, he's already got Kravinovic there and Matt Phillips, brought in Krissy and Robinson. He knew that was where his team was winning games from. They didn't have a 20-goal-a-season striker. We're going to see that at the end. And Hal Robson-Kanu is basically brought in as a pivot into the team. So it didn't work. When I praised the recruitment, we say the 8 million dropped on the striker. Didn't quite work there. But you can see he strengthened up the area that was working for his team. And again, when we talk about, was it the compounding of years of good work? Was it a freak season? No. Was it financial power and size of club? Probably not. Was it good recruitment and a manager who's good in game? I think we're getting towards more the truth on how West Brom did this. Results up to lockdown, and you can see, again, West Brom had good streaks for about 3 periods this season. 5 wins in 6 there. Absolutely vital period there, given they were 4 without a win and 5 without a win indeed before that. In we go to lockdown, we come back. And if I remove that banner, you will see that in the end, West Brom really kind of creaking as we got up to the finish line. And again, I would refer you back to the 20-game table and the huge lead they had. Did that carry them over the line in the end? I think it probably did, getting those points on the board early doors and being in the top 2 for nigh on the whole season. Really, look there, 3 straight wins within 1 week there against Sheffield Wednesday, Hull and Derby. Absolutely vital as they limp over the finish line. Just 3 points in the last 4 games. Yes, I accept the theory that the context was that they were defending a lead and they did enough, but certainly not the hot finish that Brentford and Fulham had. We're talking, particularly in Brentford's case, over a 15-20 game run. Here is the final table, and 83 points, not massively high in the end. Leeds managing the fabled 2 points per game. Look at that, 28 wins for Leeds. We've said a few times, only a really great chase from Brentford and Fulham, who got their form just a little bit too late, gets them over the line. And it was close last night, could have gone either way. But as I said, good recruitment and a good manager. Here's player-wise what happened. You can see on the left there, top scorers, well, 10, 10, 8 for Pereira and Diangana and Phillips. I said it was the 3 off the front that really got them over the line, and Pereira's outstanding season. Look, 8, 16, 23 goals from those guys, and that's not obviously including Krissy, Kravinovic and Robinson's contributions either. Look on the right-hand side here now. Sam Johnston, you can see the spine of the team. Johnston in goal. Livermore and Sawyers there, 43 and 42 appearances. And Ajayi and Pereira as well, 42 and 38. So you can see down the middle of the team, nice and solid. And in respect of the recruitment, 2 Darren Moore signings, Johnston and Livermore mainstays, but 3 signings there, Ajayi, Sawyers, Pereira in his team for the whole season. Good job. You can see if we go to the assists and the ratings, propped up there, Pereira 16 assists, Diangana 6, Phillips 6, and the ratings as well. Krissy actually down the bottom there with 3 assists. Pereira, Diangana. It was very much a 4-2-3-1 where the 3 off the front did the damage, in particularly Matthias Pereira. Here is the who scored projection of the West Brom team that played the majority of the games. Obviously, in the fullback positions, there is Kieran Gibbs and Dara O'Shea as well. Remember, this is just based on most appearances. Higazi as well in the centre-back position. But Johnston, Furlong, Ajayi, Bartley, Townsend, Livermore and Sawyers, solid as a rock. Then Pereira and Diangana, the two key players, goals and assists coming from there. Matt Phillips tailed off at the end of the season. Charlie Austin there. So again, when we're talking about how did they do this, was it a Norwich, everything coming together and snapping and an amazing season? No. Was it Leeds, 2 years of strong work and lots of good decisions and a pattern of play culminating? No. Was it a good manager with some good recruitment, with a good-sized championship club doing a good job? Yes. I think that is the answer to this one. So what next now? Bilic gets another go at the Premier League. Let's bring that team up. As always, sorry, I'll just talk down the camera so you can see I'm sincere about this. I'm not having a pop at any promoted team. Just remember, recruitment needs to be done. And some of these players, the team that gets you up is not the team that will keep you in the Premier League. It's a ruthless profession, football. We know it. So I'm not having a pop and raining on anyone's parade here. But looking at that team, I think Johnston gets a go. I think Furlong and Ajayi do. Next to Ajayi, Bartley, Higazi, maybe a centre-half comes in. Townsend and Gibbs there at left-back. Maybe that'll end up being Gibbs. I think Livermore and Sawyers both get a go. And they've signed Pereira. Can they do anything with Diangana? Is Phillips up to another Premier League season? I don't know. I'm not sure. And up front, Austin, Zahor, and Robson Kanu. So, in short, I think recruitment needs to be done up top, in the three off the front positions, particularly if they can't get Diangana, and maybe a centre-back and or a left-back. So there's going to need to be recruitment done. Do they have a solid pattern of play that's blown teams away? I know people will refer me back to that Swansea game where they won 5-1. In respects of how well practiced that Sheffield United were, and I thought Norwich and Leeds are likely to be, no. West Brom aren't there. They're only 1 year into the pattern of play. So I think it's going to be tricky. If they're going to stay up, it's going to need another good batch of recruitment from Bilic. It will rely on his ability in game to move pawns about and push and pull during games. And then maybe as they go, the pattern of play will come. It's going to be a slog. I would say perhaps even someone like Brentford, who's further down their plan in terms of pattern of play, well, they're ahead in that department, let's just say, if they can get up through the playoffs. But West Brom are there, and they are there on merit. So that is my view on how West Brom got back to the Premier League, how they did it. I believe the key factors were, of course, size of club in championship relations, budget, parachute payments in relation to others, and then good recruitment from Slaven Bilic and good in-game management without necessarily sweeping all before them. A couple of periods, 6 straight wins, and I think 5 wins in 6 at one point. Getting those points on the board early, and it was just too much pressure on Brentford and Fulham. They could not do it. How will they do next season? I don't know. I think they need to get that pattern of play just to a higher level, and it needs another good load of recruitment and for Bilic to be at his best on the touchline there. What do you think? Let me know. Have I got it right, wrong? Be polite, be civil. If you want to disagree with me, that's fine. If you've got a different theory, put your theory forward. As I always say, it's far more impressive to build something than it is to tear something down. Build your own theory rather than tearing mine down. If you do disagree, that's absolutely fine. Your free speech right is to do so. As it says down the bottom there, you can support this channel financially by using Super Chat on YouTube or subscribing on Patreon, but it's absolutely free to hit the like button, type a comment, share, retweet, and subscribe. As you can see, that little plaque says we've just gone over 10,000 subscribers here on the channel. Going very well. This is a championship channel, but we will be starting a new show next season called Dearly Departed, where I'm going to be following teams that I've covered in the championship who have got up to the Premier League. That will include Sheffield United, quite possibly Aston Villa, Leeds, West Brom, and one other, the playoff winners. We don't know who that is yet, but we will find out soon. So it's still worth subscribing if you're a West Brom fan. Your team will still be covered on this channel. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This has been the Benjamin Bloom Football Show, and that is my view on how West Brom were promoted to the Premier League. Get involved in the comments, and if you are a Baggies fan, congratulations. A job well done by Slaven Bilic. Thank you for watching. Over and out.